So I mentioned a little while ago that made a trip to Micro Center and did too much, and we did. Time for a new PC build. I need a second computer to hide in my closet for doing voice acting stuff. So let's build this second computer. So we're starting with the MSI Pro Z790p Wi-Fi motherboard. So most of these parts were picked based off of not what I thought was best or most needed, but because Micro Center ran a great deal on this motherboard CPU RAM combo. So not, I don't know, definitely didn't pick this like I did my previous personal build, but that's okay. Motherboard down. Woo woo. Then for our CPU, we have got the Intel Core i7-12700K, because it was what was part of the deal. Again, that is how I picked all of these parts, was they were in a combo deal that was cheaper than the lower end i5 that I had found and built this out as originally. So why not take a better PC for a cheaper price? Shout out Micro Center's deals. If you have a Micro Center near you, go there. This isn't sponsored, I just like Micro Center. I don't think I've got the camera angle to really show this off, but that's okay. We go down and up. As always, you get your CPU and you don't drop it, because this is the only part that really matters. The only part you can mess up also. We're gonna take this, we're gonna go, you line up your golden triangle on your CPU to either the triangle on your motherboard, or in this case, the triangle that was on the CPU cover, the slot cover for some reason. That's perfect. Down this goes. Easy, breezy, beautiful. Cover girl, I guess. Next, we've got 16 gigs of G.Skill Ripjaws 5. Still room for expansion, though I can't lie. Expansion shouldn't be needed because this build is already so overkill for what I was doing. It's just when you can get a better PC for the same price, why wouldn't you? 2 and 4, line up your slot with your slot, and even pressure till they click. Weirdly, this is only like my 4th PC build. That feels weird. Bang, both clicks, and we are done. Time to get our cooler on. But I forgot my screwdriver. And now we get our little M.2 right in here. A Samsung 970 EVO that is so old. This was the original M.2 from my very first PC build. And there we go. SSD installed. Now, cooler. And I've got the Razer Hanbo Chroma because it was on sale for 60 bucks. That is kind of the theme with this build. I think I paid full price for one part this time around. 2 of the parts are old and have been in my closet, so not counting those. But they were full price at one point, I guess. All right, now for our water cooler, we've got our mounting bracket here. Make sure you use whichever mounting bracket for whichever brand CPU you have. Mine is obviously Intel. Now we get our Intel pieces. Get these screwed into place or finger tightened, since I'm not gonna go find what will fit these bolts. Now we can get our actual block installed as well. Luckily our thermal paste is pre-installed. Just gonna make sure we remove the cover. Luckily there is not an extra thing this time. And now just some thumb screws to install. We're gonna crisscross them so to evenly distribute pressure on our CPU socket. You might not be able to see what I'm doing, but I promise it's just screws. Well, thumb screws. As soon as it feels tightly on there, we call it good. Simple, simple, simple. Now, while we're thinking about it, we're gonna do a little bit of cabling. Kind of hate the way they did this, but who am I to judge you? You ever make a mistake because you weren't paying attention? because I just did. All right, now everything we can do outside of the case is done. So we're gonna move our stuff and then get our case ready to go. And the case we are going with is the NZXT H7 Flow. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I only picked this case because it was on sale for $50. And there we go, computer case. My goodness, it's pretty large. So, how do you come off here? Doors, the other things. Okay, it is mostly magnets. Good to know. I almost forgot something that I've never had to do. That's why I almost forgot. And that is our I/O shield, because all of my previous motherboards have had them built in. That's weird as hell. All right, let's get our motherboard into our machine. The machine. There we go. Those are in. Well, it's in, but it's not secure. Time to get to work on that. All right, next thing we're gonna do is throw our power supply in here. That is this Corsair RMX 1000X 80 plus gold power supply. Now, is this overkill for what's in this build? 157%. But I already owned it from when the power supply in my computer exploded a long time ago. So why not use what we already has? Now it's time for everybody's favorite part, the GPU. And because I've been talking about wanting them to be good for so long, we've got an Intel Arc B580. Top end of Intel Arc, which means still just a mid-range GPU, but this computer barely needs a GPU. Though, because I did get Arc, I will be testing it with a couple of games if I get the chance, just because I want to see how well Arc performs. Sorry, that was very loud. Got a couple peels to do on the GPU that I don't want to forget about later. There's one just here on the back. That one was nice. This is 2-slot. It is a dual slot. Just 2 slottish. Just 2 slots. And boom, GPU in. All right, first boot time. Unlike last 4 times I've built computers, let's make sure we turn the power supply on. And did we fuck it up? Don't know. Fans are all spinning, including on the GPU, so that's good. Oh, one more peel. Ah! It broke. Please enter setup to configure your system. This keyboard, I don't have a keyboard plugged in. And this keyboard won't work for what I'm trying to do. Run! Alright, I am trying to get a game installed so I can run a little bit of a benchmark or just see how it's going to go. But the game's taking a minute, so I don't think I'll get there tonight, and I'm just not going to do it. Because I'm not going to game over here that often anyways, and if I do, I'll probably just stream from my other PC. But there's no real reason to game back here. I have a way better computer out there. At some point, when I have a slightly easier spot to do this from, I will show you all how good Arc plays. But for right now, you get this view of the in-closet voice editing studio, because that's what I got. So, yeah. There's an episode of Geek Builds PC, I guess. So, thanks for hanging out. we'll see y'all next week with another something, I'm sure. So, peace.